All right, today we're tackling a big one, the Canon R5 versus the R6. Now these two cameras are absolute legends, right? But what's really wild is how they've become incredible deals on the used market. So we're gonna figure out which one is the right camera for you right now in 2025. So this is the big question, isn't it? What are you really looking for? Do you need a camera that captures every single tiny, ridiculous detail, a true resolution powerhouse? Or are you looking for a champion that just owns the dark, a master of low-light shooting? Stick with me, because by the end of this, you're gonna have your answer.
You know, you gotta remember, both of these cameras hit the scene way back in July 2020, and they pretty much turned the mirrorless world upside down. And even with newer models out there, these two, they're still wildly popular because they're just proven, reliable, and fantastic performers.
And a huge reason for that popularity, the price. I mean, look at this. In 2025, you can find a used R6 for somewhere between $1,500 and $2,000. The R5, that's going to be closer to $2,500. And that $1,000 gap, that's really the heart of our whole debate today. Is the R5 really worth that extra cash?
Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. Let's really break down what that extra money buys you. We're going head-to-head on the specs that actually matter. Now, what's so interesting here is just how much these two cameras have in common. I mean, they've got the same processor, same shooting speeds, a lot of shared DNA. But as you can see, the differences in that sensor, the video capabilities, and especially that native ISO range, oh yeah, that's where the real story is. That's what's going to help you make your choice.
And boom, right out of the gate, we hit the first major battleground, resolution. The R5 is packing a massive 45 megapixel sensor. That is more than double the R6's 20 megapixels. For anyone who needs to crop in tight on their photos or print really big, this difference is, well, it's absolutely massive. No question about it.
And if you're a filmmaker, this is a huge deal. The R5 gives you glorious 8K raw video. That means you have an insane amount of freedom to crop, reframe, and push the colors around in post-production. The R6 has fantastic 4K for sure, but for serious filmmakers, that 8K on the R5 is a total game changer. Okay, so the R5 is a powerhouse, we get it. But what's the case for the R6? Well, if the R5 is the high-end specialist, the R6 is the versatile, do-it-all workhorse. It's that practical, super adaptable camera for creators who just need something reliable, no matter the situation.
So why would you actually pick the R6? Well, it comes down to these real-world wins. It's cheaper, it's a bit lighter, so it's better for carrying all day, you get a little more juice out of the battery, and that low-light performance makes it an absolute champion for fast-moving sports or unpredictable wedding and event photography.
And let's be super clear about that low light advantage, because we are not kidding. The R6 has a max native ISO that is literally double the R5's. It also gets a higher score from DxOMark, that's a big industry test for camera sensors, which confirms it's the undisputed king when things get dim. And the reason is simple. Its pixels are physically bigger, so they can just soak up more light, giving you cleaner images with less noise.
But let's flip the script. What if you're not always shooting in the dark? What if you live and breathe detail? Okay, let's shift focus back to the R5, the detail-obsessed, undisputed resolution king. This is the ultimate tool for pros who demand every last drop of quality from every single shot.
I mean, the argument for the R5 is just pure power. You've got that 45 megapixel sensor, the 8K raw video, a sharper viewfinder, and a bigger screen to compose your shots, plus those little pro features like the top LCD screen. It is tailor-made for high-end commercial work, studio portraits, and epic landscapes. And just when you thought 45 megapixels was insane, get a load of this. The R5 has this special pixel shift mode that can combine images to create a mind-blowing 400 megapixel file. Yeah, you heard that right. For capturing the absolute most insane level of detail, nothing else even comes close. It's wild.
So, we've seen the specs, we've heard the arguments on both sides. Now it's time to make this personal. Because the real question isn't which camera is better, the question is which camera is the right tool for your job.
So let's break it down really simply. If you're a portrait pro and you need all that detail for skin tones and retouching, the R5 is your winner, hands down. Shooting sports, the R6 speed and low light chops give it the edge. For indie filmmakers who want that 8K flexibility, the R5 is the obvious choice. And for landscape artists, yeah, the R5's massive resolution makes it superior.
All right, we've laid out all the evidence. It's time to land this plane. Bring it all together for the final verdict and hope you figure out your next step.
So if we look purely at the raw data, the spec sheet, yeah, The R5 comes out on top. It gets an overall score of 89 to the R6's 77, and that just reflects its more extensive professional-grade features. On paper, it's just the more capable camera. But you and I both know that specs on a sheet don't tell the whole story. And this quote from our source really just nails it. If 8K video or massive prints are key, go R5. For versatile, all-round performance without breaking the bank, the R6 remains a steal. That's the takeaway. If your work demands that insane level of detail, the R5 is your camera. For pretty much everyone else, the R6 delivers unbelievable value.
So that brings us right back to our final question, and this one's for you. Who are you? Are you the resolution king, somebody who needs every last pixel of detail? Or are you the all-around brawler who needs a tough, versatile camera that can handle anything you throw at it? You've got the facts now. The choice is yours.